January of 2020, Candace and I put on a show. It was through the Exodus program. We have 3 pods of inmates in the Exodus program, 2 men's and 1 women's. So we're looking at about 70 folks that we wanted to showcase their art. We were lucky enough to get Hidden Light. They donated a lot of frames to us so we could really make that artwork pop. It was artwork that belonged in a gallery. It deserved a gallery to be seen. And I really believe that it would help the inmates process some of their past and what they wanted to do, and just to have that self-worth of, I can do this.
It's bridging the gap between those that are incarcerated and those in the community, and it's the human experience. We all experience it. We all want the same things out of life: food, shelter, love. They're mothers, brothers, sisters, fathers, daughters. So I think art has a way of kind of blurring those lines and allowing us to just see people as people.
Flagship started in 2015. A great mentor of mine had told me that you can't start a theater company. All you can do is put on a play and see if anybody comes. So it's grown from just independent contractors to now a festival that has 3 full-time employees and is employing about 58 independent contractors a year. Wow, we had such big plans for 2020. Then we went to Plan B, Plan C, Plan D. We tried to just look for opportunities that COVID had opened up that wouldn't otherwise be open. So one of those was that Reardon Mansion was empty. And so we asked if we could film Edgar Lee Masters' Spoon River anthology there. Then we did a film version of As You Like It. Then we got outside in September when COVID numbers were really low, did Window Shakespeare. And we decided that the safest thing to do with 12th Night would be to film it and release it digitally. So we didn't put on a single event this year where we weren't involving a restaurant or a downtown business, a local videographer or a musician, or locations that we otherwise hadn't thought about. But we wanted to make sure we were spending any money we were spending supporting a local arts and culture institution. The entire Flagstaff arts community buoys each other, and it's one of the best things about this community.
The festival started in 1990, so that makes it the longest continuously running, entirely free science festival in the world. I hope that one of the things the festival does, particularly to young learners throughout Northern Arizona, is just plant the seeds of interest. They may choose to go into STEM studies when they go to school, or at least they'll just grow up appreciating and understanding science.
We really want all children to have the opportunity. Not every child needs to go into STEAM, but every child should be able to have the opportunity to find out if it's for them.
There were some science festivals that did have to cancel, and that was certainly a possibility that we talked about. But fortunately, we had enough time to react and put together some virtual programs with the help of the board and all our supporters. We were able to turn that challenge into an opportunity.
It really gave us insight to future growth we can do, future impact that we can have on behalf of Flagstaff, which is the exciting part, getting to represent this community.
Mocap was started in 2013 by a group of local artists who saw a need for a contemporary art venue to kind of showcase local arts that weren't fully established here in Flagstaff, Northern Arizona. Kicking off 2020, we had the pre-party for the Flagstaff Film Festival, and then like 2 weeks later or something, we like transformed the space and we had the Evisceration series, and that was kind of getting us started in 2020 in a really good way. And then...
Of course, we all know what happened in March, and seeing the opportunity for really thinking outside of the box. So we had one event called Social Distance, which was a bike ride art tour.
And Social Distance got people on bikes and safely toured these artists. And it went from like martial artists to singer-songwriter to poets to drag performances. While not being able to hold exhibits in our space, we pivoted just like everyone else and really focused on selecting these local artists and highlighting them digitally. The pandemic really helped us focus in on our core values and missions, and that's to be adaptive, and that's to support local artists no matter what.
The Black Lived Experience, this dialogue, this series gives us the opportunity to tell our story in its totality, We are more than just a news clip. We come from a legacy and ancestry of just great people. And our story is one of resilience.
The series is a group of conversations or dialogues is what we're calling it, that really addresses issues that affect Blacks, African Americans in Flagstaff, in the state, and across the country. When I first arrived in Flagstaff almost 30 years ago, it was almost as if Black people didn't exist. And so I think that for me, it's adding the Black experience to the history of Flagstaff.
And as we started talking about more and more topics, folks were really engaging after and during each one of those, just saying that, again, we didn't know. We didn't know so many of these stories. And so it's a great opportunity to learn and to educate and to engage with a broader community.
And good evening, lived Black experience, community, our family, wherever you are.
So we have people from all over the world that are watching the Lived Black Experience. We have a YouTube channel now that has like almost 60 different community dialogue sessions on it, and people are, assigning them to their class.
I would expect that the series will go down in history as a project that was able to begin the hard topics, that would really begin to set the record straight, that will change minds, that will really be the beginning of lasting change.